It has been quite a while since we've seen a new curse in Sea of Thieves. In fact, the last curse that was introduced into the game was the Curse of Sunken Sorrow back in June of 2021. Being some of the most interesting cosmetics in the game, I think Sea of Thieves is long overdue for a few new curses. So I've taken the liberty of brainstorming my own concepts for some new Sea of Thieves curses that would modify our pirates in cool ways, and most importantly, be able to be earned by anyone playing the game. First and foremost is a little something for all of the fishermen in Sea of Thieves, the Curse of the Hunter. The idea behind this curse is to add gills to your pirate's neck and change the skin to a more pale blue shark-like tone. I think this would be a great addition to the game, not only because the Hunter's Call feels like one of the most underappreciated factions, but it also would give players a much more compelling reason to grind out Hunter's Call rep, since it could be awarded for reaching the maximum rank with them. Next up is the Dark Adventurer's Curse. This curse would ideally match the Dark Adventurer's set by giving pirates a dark gray skin tone, glowing red eyes, and possibly even force your pirate's hair color to be more silver toned. In classic Dark Adventurer's fashion, I could see this being available in the hideout for a large sum of gold, possibly as even the most expensive Dark Adventurer's item, maybe right around 10 million gold. Once again, this would give players something exciting to look forward to earning, and give them something to spend their gold reserves on. In the spirit of spooky season, the Curse of the Full Moon would be a very dynamic curse that places small patches of fur on your pirate's skin, then slowly transforms your pirate over the course of the day until midnight, where your pirate would be fully covered in fur, and even sprout ears and a tail like a werewolf. Then, as night transitions back to day, the curse would revert back to its more tame version at noon. It would make a lot of sense for a curse like this to be awarded for participating in a Halloween-related event, giving all current players the opportunity to earn it, but making it exclusive enough that it feels worth earning. Next is the Nightstalker's Curse, and if you've ever played or seen World of Warcraft, you'll probably recognize the inspiration behind this curse is the Night Elf race. The Nightstalker's Curse would make your pirate's skin a purple-blue tone, cause them to sprout elf-like ears, and give them glowing white eyes. Being that curses are supposed to be fairly time-consuming to acquire, the Nightstalker's Curse would be no exception, requiring players to earn a certain amount of gold specifically at nighttime in the game. Given how it's much easier to grind gold in Sea of Thieves today than it was in the past, I think an amount somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 50 million gold would meet the balance of being a high enough threshold, but also be attainable enough that players would be willing to grind for it. Lastly is the concept of the Skeleton Curse. For some reason, this is something a lot of people think already exists in the game, but it actually doesn't. There are different outfits like the Bone Chiller and Dark Warsmith costumes that transform players into skeletons, but because they're costumes, at least in the current state of the game, that means your pirate's clothing is forced to match it. On the flip side, if a skeleton curse was created, not only could it be used to transform your pirate's body to look like one of the skeletons in the game, but because it's a curse instead of a costume, that means you could customize your outfit around it as you see fit. What's more is the skeleton curse could be made even more dynamic in nature by offering variations of itself that would turn you into different kinds of skeletons, like the gold, plant, and shadow skeletons. Each of these variations could be acquired by slaying a certain number of the different type of skeletons, giving players a reason to explore different facets of the game world to encounter them, like Order of Souls voyages and skeleton forts. Now, these are only some of my ideas for new Sea of Thieves curses, and I'd love to hear in the comments below what ideas you might have for some interesting curse concepts. There's undoubtedly a million different ways you could go about creating them, but just remember they should be pretty difficult to acquire so they show off your dedication. Don't forget to subscribe for even more Sea of Thieves content, and I hope you enjoyed.